Welcome back to tonight's reading of A Tiger for Malgudi by R.K.Narayan. Last we stopped at the point where they were discussing about the filming of the movie starring the tiger called Raja. So they were discussing it, and the captain who is in charge of the tiger, the tiger and the circus says that, the captain is in charge of the circus, and the Madan is the person who is the film producer financier. So they are discussing. So then Madan asks, will you not give an extension of the time for shooting the movie? And so the captain says, no, our circus is on the move. You know that. I have to send Raja off. Raja is a tiger, off in advance. I'll tell you what we might do. You might utilize the flexibility of the medium of film, and on my side, I'll make Raja stand on his hind legs and place his forepaws on a wrestler who is imaginary. And then you will ask your giant to imagine himself to wrestle with a tiger that is not there. So we'll film each of them separately with an imaginary foe. After all, they will be able to do that one. And then we shoot the two separately, and then we'll use the optical printer and to place them together. That way it will be easy to show them hugging or even meeting each other in a fight. Marvelous idea, said Madan. Next 4 days we'll shoot the maximum footage. I'll get a second unit from Madras immediately. Better you give your hero a close view of the tiger, or that he may flail and hug and tackle realistically. Has he seen the tiger? Asked the captain. So Madan says, yes. Madan is having the hero, the big giant whom he has engaged for this scene. So, has your hero seen the tiger at close quarters? That is what captain is asking. Madan is the person who has got the hero, that is the big giant. He says, yes, from a distance, always from a distance. That's my problem. I notice that he shuts his eyes and trembles when he has to pass that cage. I was afraid how he would react to the tiger at close quarters. How soon will your unit arrive? Asked captain. Within 24 hours, says Madan. No need to hurry, said captain. They may take 3 days. Meanwhile, it's important that your giant and the tiger are introduced to each other. Your artist has to know what he's doing. As for Raja, as a general rule, it will be good to give him a glimpse of his adversary. Madan was too preoccupied to question the logic of it or the need. It was one of the many routine remarks and suggestions that floated in the air during a film shooting, and then they just vanished. Madan summoned his assistants and then instructed, send a telegram to X at Madras to dispatch the second unit within 2 days. One cameraman and a second unit and light unit. Where's the need, sir? Asked the cameraman, overhearing the instruction while packing up. While you're not utilizing the first unit, what have we achieved the whole day? The cameraman is asking. None of your business to question. Be ready when you are asked, captain said sternly. Captain felt it was time to support Madan and establish his authority, and said, shut your ears to our talk, understand? Open only when you are being addressed. In any event, keep your mouth always shut. That will help us all. The cameraman was cowed down by Captain's ringside manner and left, others trooping behind him. From within his circle, where he had returned after the canteen visit, Jagu the giant asked, "May I come out too?" He cried. "Oh, poor fellow, they have forgotten you. Come, come," they said. So, with a sigh of relief, like a released animal, Jagu the giant stepped out of his confinement of the magic circle. He was led into the makeup shed and after a while came out without his costume, clad in a lungi and a shirt with the paint off his face. There was relief in his face as he sat down on a bench to rest his legs for after hours of standing. He lit a beedi and smoked it with contentment. He had eaten well at the canteen. One of Captain circus hands, who had escorted the tiger cage, came up to him and said, "Chief wants you to come." "Why?" "To present you a cat." "Why a cat?" he asked with extreme innocence. The men who had come to summon him made a few merry jokes about a birthday gift and so forth. They led him through a gate into a stockade built for the cameraman, with platforms for taking top shots and enough gaps between the railings for the camera to follow the action in a larger enclosure. He saw a man with a whip in one hand and a chair in the other, standing and commanding, "Raja, come out." The whip cracked, and a tiger jumped out of his cage. "Race around," commanded the man. The tiger ran around, while Jagu stood petrified, unable to believe his eyes. Madan was watching him with attention and said, "The fellow looks nervous, but must get used to the idea, even if we were faking the shot." He watched the giant's discomfiture with glee. At one point, the tiger lunged forward with a roar in Jagu's direction and dashed against his stockade. Jagu let out a howl, "Amma, save me," and cried, calling it, he ran away, blindly smashing his way out. Madan was saying to the captain, "This is a thing which you might use in emergency, but generally to tame any wild thing." So Madan is the film producer and he is advising the captain, who is the owner of the circus. Yeah. But generally to tame any wild thing, and is advising the captain. He produced a gadget which, when pressed, shot out a thin metal rod and at a touch delivered a shock, working on a battery. Madan explained, "Only 15 volts, but enough to keep any animal well behaved. You can try it if you like." "On Raja, never. My whip is enough." He would not touch the gadget. He shook his head. "I'd be ashamed to employ this on any animal. No trainer worth his name can be proud of it. If his animal is coerced and beaten down with such a contraption, it's not training. It is stampeding an animal into obedience with electric shock." "Well, I don't know what you mean. You are doing it all the time with your whip," said Madan. "If you don't see the difference, it's no use explaining further. I don't want shortcuts, and I hope that I do not destroy the natural pride of an animal that an animal possesses. I'll take care of it." Although Madan could not admit that Captain actually practiced all his theory, was only letting his eloquence flow on. He just put away the gadget with, "All I need is your cooperation." So that's it. Of that word he was very fond, as Captain noted with amusement. He repeated, "Cooperation, cooperation, cooperation." That you can have in plenty, but not the tiger bullied and stunned with electric shocks. said Captain. Oh, come, come, it's not worse than the whip. In Hollywood, they are using it all the time. Probably even on human stars in Hollywood who may need to be kept awake, but not in our sets, said Captain. I was for a moment, that was, said Mother. I was for a moment lost in the fun of hearing Amma from this mountain of a baby. Where is he gone? Don't let him get away. Stun him if necessary, said Madan, sending his men after Jaggu. Poor Jaggu had run away on seeing the tiger crying Amma, Amma. Captain could not help laughing at the huge character running away in panic, shouting for its mother's help. That fellow didn't even notice that he was in a different enclosure from the tiger. Didn't notice the bars intervening. Didn't trust them, I suppose. Madan began to look concerned when his men did not turn up. Where could he have gone? Gone only 5 minutes. Where are the fellows who ran after him? They are also gone. Everyone seems to be too ready to desert us today. He was rambling on irrelevantly in his anxiety and trying to put the blame on everyone. Captain was apparently getting a lot of enjoyment out of it. If you had kept the camera on and shot this sequence of a giant running away at the sight of the tiger, crying Amma, Amma, it would have been a greatest hit. While all the time I want him to be heroic and tackle a tiger in keeping with his size, said Madan ruefully. Presently, the searching party returned and reported. Jaggu is nowhere. What do you mean by it? Madan asked angrily. He is not thought to be lost sight of. Can't be hiding behind a blade of grass. We beat about every bush, every ditch and every crag. We went up over a mile in 3 directions. He must be found, otherwise I'll be ruined, cried Madan. Just take your car and try, suggested Captain. Madan started his car and drove down the road recklessly. If he is not found, I'll be ruined, he kept saying to himself. Madan was back within an hour with the giant stuffed like a baggage in the narrow back seat of his car, which had only 2 doors and could release a back seat passenger only by folding down the front seat. It was like locking up a prisoner. Madan looked happy and relieved. I found him in old Mari shrine. Some instinct told me he must be there. Other places could not conceal him. He addressed Jaggu. The goddess would not protect you. You know why? Because you tried to cheat me. God bless. Goddess does not like persons who try to cheat. I don't like tigers, Jaggu said. We don't care what you like or dislike, Madan said. You are under contract with me. I told you the story before signing the agreement. If you act like a coward now, I'll hand you over to the police. But I didn't know it would be a big tiger. He tried to kill me, says Jaggu. Didn't you see the bars between you and the tiger? We'll see it doesn't touch you. You will be safe. Jaggu was on the point of tears. Leave me, sir, leave me. I'm no good for this. Let me go back to my village. I'll display my strength and make my living there. Madan was unmoved by all this pleading. They'll have you in chains and put you to break stones. Don't go to your village. I won't mind, sir, said Jaggu. He's habituated to breaking stones and chains for a living at all fairs. After a threat, it misfired. It misfired. While all this talk was going on, Madan hadn't yet released him from the back seat. The giant did not know how to come out of it. He said, please, sir, let me out. My knees are paining. I can't sit here. When they had no effect, he said, I've got to, indicating he had to relieve himself. Madan opened the door, pushed his seat forward, and hustled him out of the car. The giant got out and raced towards the bush. Madan shouted, "If you try to trick me again, I'll release the tiger out of the cage and set him on you." He directed two men to follow him. When he returned with the two bodyguards, Madan said, "You must cooperate with me and I'll make you rich, a famous man. Your photo will be on all the balls and papers. They will present their notebooks and beg you to sign." No, sir, never. I was never taught how to read or write. If they had only put me to school, I would have been different. I don't like tigers. Please save me." So he was so scared, this giant. "You have signed or put your left thumb impression to an agreement in which you have agreed to act along with a tiger. But let me tell you, you will not be required to come close to the tiger. I will see that you are not hurt. Also remember, the tiger is not all. It's only a part. I have written a story in which you knock down the tiger, kill it, and then marry a beautiful girl. I'm sure you will like it." He was horrified. "Oh no, I'm married. I'm married already. I'll go back to my village and give her the money, whatever I earn." All right. You can take a lot of money for her. His bodyguards took him away at a signal from Madan and kept him company, enjoying a lot of jokes at his expense about bigamy. They led him away to a secluded spot on the location and said, "Our boss has a beautiful bride for you, and yet you try to run away?" Jaggu was horrified. "Oh, I can't. My wife will." "Oh, your wife? Don't mind what she says. She's a country girl. But our boss has reserved for you a princess. Oh, you will have to go through with it whether you like it or not. We have signed an agreement. Don't you know that a film star should have at least two wives?" "It is a government order," said another. "Our hut in the village is small," said Jaggu. Pleaded Jaggu. "You are going to be rich and can afford two houses for two wives," said the other. "You can sleep with one half the night and go up and go in a car to the other half for the other half of the night." "Lucky fellow." "My wife will not like it. I don't want two wives," says Jaggu. "Wait till you see the other one. You will save her from the tiger. She'll call you her lord and savior and darling for your trouble." Jaggu looked distressed and brooded over the terrible prospects that lay before him. He lit a beedi and thought over it. No, he said to himself. I can't accept a tiger. It's all written down like fate. Nothing can be changed. They taunted him. He was rehearsed endlessly and made to go through the motions of wrestling with an unseen tiger. Madan himself was fatigued, demonstrating out of the range of the camera the gestures which the giant had to copy while the camera was shooting. Though the hero was the only one in the cast for the present sequence, the film personnel of two units created quite a crowd and were all over the place. At another end of the lot, Captain was handling Raja. He had extended the time for shooting by several weeks, since Madan had agreed to pay heavily for the extension, and Captain felt it was a sound way of making money during the interval between the two camps. Although he was indifferent generally in money matters, now a certain degree of greed was overcoming him, a gradual corruption through contact with the film world. He began to think, what a lot of money this film business turns over. Let me collect the loot while this fool of a Madan is about it. He told his wife, possibly after this, Madan may come up with the idea of making a full circus picture. That'd be a good break for us. She welcomed the idea. Don't discourage him. Cooperate with the fellow, as he always says. If he wants more days for shooting, granted. We could always delay the opening of the next camp. Anyway, I am tired and bored with the circus. Let us try something new for a change. we lose nothing. We may be free from all this dust and noise and ticket selling for some time. We have to depend on Raja now too much and beg him to cooperate. But his act is rather difficult. He is required to stand on his hind legs and fall forward. Every day I am trying to make him understand, but it's proving difficult. Why don't you try the electrical gadget? I won't hear of it. Impossible, says Captain. At this point, their pleasantries came to an end, and she castigated him for being impractical and sentimental. After all, he'll be limp for a few minutes when you can maneuver him for the camera. I'm prepared to handle your Raja with the electrical staff if you lack the guts. I'm confident I can manage. Give me two men, Sam and the other fellow. What's his name? Munisami? Very well, Captain said. I'll keep away tomorrow. You try. I mean it, she said. That was the wife. You mind your business, she said. Tumble on your trapeze and read a novel if you can't spend your time. If you feel dull without work, why don't you spend a week at Lovedale visiting the boys? So that you may breathe freely, you always find my presence irksome. Not always, but sometimes. Whatever you want to do, keep off my animals. They won't obey you because you are my wife. Ah, you are very modest, aren't you? She said. So we'll stop here. Thank you. I think that was an interesting episode. Bye bye. See you tomorrow next.